Oh, it is May 1st, which means Bruins fans, it is May. Frick Day. May Day. May Day. just like that sequence is being in the NHL playoffs. What a stupid transition. But the Bruins have made the playoffs, and we are facing in the first round the the Carolina Hurricanes, the second best, the best team in the Metro Division a because we are a freaking we're a wild card team in this year. I don't know if I expected us to be a wild card team or if I expected us to be anything better. But I think it was about I think really it was about it was about during the time of the of right before the COVID stoppage, like that 3 week long stretch between between I don't know, Thanksgiving and like DeBrusque requesting a trade and the COVID stoppage. That I was like, okay, yeah, this is the Bruin. This is not the look of a Bruins team that is going to make the playoffs as a division leader. This is the look of a team that is going to at best make wild card. And hey, we did. We made the wild card, and we're playing against a team, and we're playing against a team that outscored us in the regular season 16-1. First of all, we got to talk about the last time these two teams met in the playoffs. It was the fun as hell bubble. Well, in the first round, of the bubble, the Bruins won 4-1, and in it we had quite possibly one of the biggest freak accidents I've seen on one of the bigger freak accidents I've seen in recent NHL history, in recent NHL playoff. The only really the I mean, it wasn't a major injury, but it was still like, oh god, what the hell happened? It was Zdeno Chara and Andrei Svechnikov going back to back on the and twisting around, and Svechnikov's skate gets caught up, and he just tumbles to the ground like a sack of potatoes. And that ultimately having one of their best players out for pretty much the rest of the playoffs was kind of what led to the Hurricanes losing the series. Was kind of what led to the Hurricanes losing the series. I mean, the Bruins would go on to lose in 5 in the next round against Tampa, but who's going to be going against the Maple Leafs? And oh boy, that's going to be a fun. That's going to be a fun game. That's going to be a fun round for them. But I don't know. In recent history, the Bruins have absolutely owned the Hurricanes in the playoffs. And then in the year prior, you had the conference finals between the Bruins and the Hurricanes, in which the Bruins swept the series. Is in a series where the Hurricanes lost 5-2, 6-2, 2-1, and 4-0. I'm sorry. It's weird that the Bruins have owned the Hurricanes as well as they have, with one of the work. And then this year they go on to lose 16-1 across 3 games. Let's start with the first game. The Bruins. Hold on. Sorry, just 1 second. First game was October 28th, in which Freddie Anderson completely shuts out the Bruins Nino Niederreiter and Tony DeAngelo score again, and stuff. We lose 3-0. Next game we play is just an absolute fluke. It was against them. It was frick. What day was this? This was January 18th, in which the Bruins lose 7-1. However, there is a caveat here. The Bruins started Tuukka Rask, and is coming back from injury for and he just absolutely was not in it. It was I swear to God, if Omar was in net, the Bruins at worst lose 3-1. You had Kokoniemi scoring 2 goals really easily in the first period. The Bruins just, sure, on the one hand you can blame Rask for being awful in his return, but at the same time why is the Bruins offense just not doing anything against the Hurricanes? And then of course the next game they play, they lose 6-0 with Sebastian Aho getting 2 goals for himself. Freddie Anderson's shutting out the Bruins again. And just the Bruins, they're not a bad team this year, but against the Hurricanes, they've played awful, worst hockey I've seen this team play all season. And even worse than than losing 4 of 5 against Pittsburgh. Oh, hey, Carolina, the Rangers and the Islanders, and then one of the games, and then the one game that they win that in between that is Ottawa, which that 2-0 win on February 12th is quite possibly one of the worst wins the Bruins have had all season. Apologies, but yes, I honestly, the Bruins have played well this season, just not against the Hurricanes, and I don't know if I'm exactly supposed to be happy that we're not playing Toronto, because they actually look really strong this season. I think I might have the hiccups again. God damn it. But they not only look really strong this season, but the Hurricanes as of late, let's see. They have had some kind of embarrassing losses in recent. I mean, they had a 6-game win streak to close out the season, but let's look. Like on the 14th, they lost to Detroit, and on the 8th, they lost to the Islanders. On the 5th, they lost to Buffalo. Oh, they've lost to Detroit again. They lost to Ottawa. They lost to freaking Jersey. They lost quite a few games. They lost quite a few games against quite a few beatable opponents this year. But at the same time, those losses were kind of few and far between. So now I guess it's time to go over players. And honestly, statistically, these teams are pretty similar. These teams are pretty similar, but when you get down to it, the Hurricanes have a clear advantage. I mean, first off, let's go over top scorers for both teams. Brad Marchand with 80 points, Sebastian Aho with 81. And And but the best part is the PIM difference between them. Aho has 38 penalty minutes this year. Marchand 97. That is almost 100 penalty minutes for a player on the top on the top line. And that's I don't really know if that's something that you want to be proud about, but keep going down. The Hurricanes have one more player over 40 points than the Bruins. And the Bruins have 8. The Bruins have 8. The Hurricanes have 9. But also the drop off in terms of like consistency from like top 3 to number 4 is insane for them. For us, our third leading scorer is Patrice Bergeron with 65 points, and then with 25 goals, 40 assists, 65 points. Next highest is Taylor Hall with 20 goals, 41 points, 61 and 41 assists, 61 points. Is for the Hurricanes, it's third is Teuvo Teravainen with 22 goals, 43 assists for 65 points. And then next highest is Tony DeAngelo with 10 goals, 41 assists for 51 points. That is where we dropped 4 points. The Hurricanes dropped 14. But also we only have what is it? In terms of plus minus of the Bruins absolutely are not looking as good. I mean, I know that plus minus is kind of a useless stat, but let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Hurricanes have 7 players of plus 20 or higher. Bruins have 3. And yes, of McAvoy, Bergeron, and Grzelcyk are 3 of our best defensive players. But like, goddamn, everybody else needs to pull their weight a little bit more on defense. But even still, going on to just pure goal scoring, did anyone expect Seth Jarvis to score 17 goals? Did anyone expect Martin Nate shots to score 14? On the freaking bottom line, Jesperi Kotkaniemi still makes it out with 12 goals and almost 30 points. But for the Bruins, it was we had David Pastrnak hit 40 goals, his 40th coming on in what was about to be our 40th consecutive blown power play. But I mean, both teams have only two goal scorers over 30 goals. The Canes have Sebastian Aho and Andrei Svechnikov, but with 37 and 30 respectively. Bruins have Pastrnak and Marchand with 40 and 32 respectively. But I don't know. The Bruins have, but also we have to talk about power play. We also have to talk about power play because you know that we freaking love to be bad on the power play. Give me just 1 second. Yeah, the Bruins have had 9 players with a power play goal to the Hurricanes 12. And there's absolutely a sort of there's absolutely like here's this guy and here's everybody else for the Bruins. And whereas for the Hurricanes, it is more consistent. And I guess where we fall off in terms of where they fall off in terms of actual points, we stay consistent. But where we drop off in terms of power play goals, they're more consistent. For us, Pastrnak has 15 power play goals. Next highest is Bergeron with 8. We are freaking. We have our leading power play goal scorer has almost double our next highest. Meanwhile, Hurricanes, they have Aho with 13, Svechnikov with 9, Teravainen with 9, Trocheck with 6. It's not as much of a drop off. It's like, I mean, sure, we have more players with 7, but still, it's the Bruins power play needs to be better. It needs to be better. Scoring 3 power play goals in the last 2 games does not negate the fact that you went 12 consecutive games without a single power play goal, and in that span 39 consecutive power plays without a goal. 39 consecutive power plays without a single goal. But honestly, I don't really know in terms of like how this season is going to really shake out. I mean, I don't exactly know how to. Be. At worst, I will say this: at best, the Bruins win in 6. At worst, we lose in 5. I mean, I said it in the video again about the last game against Toronto. When I was talking about hey, we're going against freaking in Carolina in the playoffs. Frederick Anderson and Antti Ranta winning the William Jennings in the first year that they are both in the with a new team is just insane. We're going against the William Jennings winner here. It's not like we're gonna be. It's not like we're gonna be freaking going against like I don't know who's a really shit goalie. I guess Carter Hart or someone like that. No disrespect to Carter or Hart. I shouldn't have said a shitty goalie, but like in terms of like how consistently amazing he is, not really Carter Hart. Carter Hart isn't really that great. I still find myself laughing at that time really early in the season when Elias Pettersson shot off the backboards. It bounced off of Carter Hart's leg and into the. It bounced off the back of Carter Hart's leg and into the net. That was funny, but still. But anyway, the Bruins. I mean, these predictions they're boosh. It doesn't matter what we predict, but because it's all gonna be a load of shit by puck drop tomorrow. But honestly, the Bruins have been pretty good. The Bruins have at least shown that they can be better than the team they were when they faced Carolina earlier this season. And keep in mind, the Bruins have never been under 500. Have never been under 500 this season. However, they are very much under 500 against playoff teams. So who knows? Maybe this team is the bottom feeders of the. Maybe we're just the bottom feeders of the playoffs this year. Maybe we're just the team that scraped by because we kept ourselves together against bad opponents. And although that Ottawa game and that Detroit game, where we lose, I think 3-1 or something like that, still kind of annoys me. But Bruins games tonight, but I mean, shoot, my most viewed video so far is the aside from that stupid video, aside from that stupid short I made of where it's a Scott the Waz joke, but sorry, of honestly, I don't know how to honestly with this team of I mean, my most viewed video is me losing my mind about about us losing 7-1, and but also looking at it now, wow, wow, did anyone expect Eric Holla to score almost 20 goals this season? And like, I'm not saying that we don't need a second line center anymore, and I'm not saying that it isn't a great idea to keep looking at Johnny Beecher down in Providence and think about maybe bringing him up for a few games, for at least a few games next season. I'm not saying that we shouldn't do that. I'm saying that maybe we can. I'm saying that maybe. I'm saying that Holla has stepped up into this role fantastically, and we should give him a round of applause for that. That was he's I don't know, Eric Holla. He surprised me this season, and he was absolutely our best free agency pickup. Actually, no, our best free agency pickup was Linus Ullmark. But for our other free agency pickups, I mean, bringing Tomáš Nosek, he didn't really do much, but at the same time, sometimes you can't. Sometimes you shouldn't really have a player. What is it? Sometimes you shouldn't really be like, hey. Sometimes you shouldn't really sign a guy because he's going to be sometimes you shouldn't sign a bottom six guy because he's going to score you 10 goals and doesn't be a 30-point player. Sometimes you should sign a bottom six guy because he's good on PK. And Nosek absolutely was one of our better penalty killers. There's looking down our roster. We have, I mean, Hampus Lindholm on this team, absolute stud. That dude, if he can remain healthy for the playoffs, we're gonna have, it's gonna be a time. I mean, I was listening to Short podcast earlier, done by one of the members is a low quality Bruins fan, and shout out, I love your videos, you're freaking amazing, low qual, I love you. But his videos, what is it, they were talking about how as soon as the puck is on Lindholm's stick, like everybody is immediately retreats back to the opposite zone. And just having a player of that offensively capable defense is just incredible, and I love him. I cannot wait for Lindholm to. I hope to God that Lindholm stays healthy, and I want to see us play amazing this game, this season, this off season, postseason. Fuck. I didn't sleep well, but in terms of like game predictions, I can see the first game being like a really tough offensive battle, and us losing probably like Bruins losing 5-4. Next game, I can see us digging ourselves out of that hole, and gaining momentum, winning 4-2, and then and winning the next game, and riding that momentum into game 3, and winning 5-2, well, at some point the momentum's gonna fall off, and we're gonna have like a shit game. We're probably gonna lose like 6-3 or something like that. And I can see Aho and Svechnikov both having a pair of goals in that game. And then we ride out the next two games winning 3-1 and 3-0. I can see that being the Bruins being how we win if we win in 6. But I think really that's it for today's episode of Into the Den. Thank you all so much for watching. And leave a comment for how you think this this postseason is going to go for the Bruins. And leave a like. Leave a like if you like it. Why not subscribe to the channel? I might make more shit that you like. And down below is my TikTok, the GoFundMe for Jake Tebow's recovery, and the GoFundMe for a new family of a transgender child trying to escape Texas. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow.